Good evening. My name is Paul K. Bisson, and this is Salem Access Television's annual membership meeting. Roll it, Dave. Excellent roll-in, and that was done by our programming director, who is also the director of this program, Dave Gauthier. Thank you, Dave. That was fantastic. We are coming to you live from Salem Access Television, located at 285 Derby Street. As we do every year at our annual meeting of the membership, we're going to be hearing from the chairman of the board. We'll be hearing from the treasurer, and we'll be hearing from our executive director. Later on in the meeting, there's also going to be our election process in which 3 seats on the board are open, 3 membership seats, and we're going to vote and elect 3 members to the board tonight. That's a little bit later on. And also, we're going to be recognizing some outstanding members for their work that they have done in the last year. We're also going to do something a little bit different this year, a little Q&A, questions and answers from our membership to our executive director and our chairman of the board. But before we get into any of that, we have to start the meeting. And the only person that can call the meeting to order is our chairman of the board, Charlie Walsh.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, audience on the TV, board of director members, invited guests. It is my honor to now officially open the meeting of the Salem Access TV. Thank you.
Excellent. And now let me introduce to you, members here, guests, and those folks at home watching, the rest of the board of directors of Salem Access Television. And once I go through all the names, please hold your applause because, you know, I know you're going to want to applaud each one of these guys. But I'll read off the names. First up is our treasurer, Sumner Jones. Our secretary, J. Michael Sullivan. Jack Nutting. Linda Vaughn, who is not here this evening, but I do accept this award in her honor. Kevin Walker is here. He'll be roaming throughout our audience for a little later on during the Q&A from the members. He is not on the soundboard as he has been for many an annual meeting, which means that you can probably hear me just fine. That's a little joke. I told him I'd be making some... Last but certainly not least, Ken Weaver. Those are our board members. And now, please, big round of applause. Now let me introduce to you the staff. And most of them, well, we've got 3 key, the staff here at SATV is made up of 3 key individuals. First, let me recognize our training and production coordinator, Patrick Kennedy. He is in the control room working on sound, I believe, so who knows if you can hear me. David Gauthier is our program director, and as I say, he's directing this show right now, and he tells the camera people, Adam, Pat, and Jenna, you know, zoom in, you know, like Adam has this great shot of me right now. This is what you call a standard medium shot. It's fantastic. Our executive director is Sal Russo, and he's up here with me right now.
Nice to be here.
Let's give them all a round of applause.
Glad to be here.
They're the ones that keep the wheels on this thing and keep it moving. Right now, let's jump right into part one of our questions and answers part of this. And I've got 3 questions for our chairman of the board, Charlie Walsh. And there are 3 questions specifically designed for him because they regard the function of the board of directors. So, Charlie, let me ask you the first question that I have here. What is the main function of the board? What do they do? What's their purpose?
Are you wondering what we do? Or?
We've got a lot of members that wonder.
Well, I spent a little time looking up information on it, and I didn't want to forget anything, so I put it down on paper. Our main purpose is to continue to provide accessible local television production training and ideas to the citizens of Salem, Mass. We do this in capacity as board members by managing the affairs of the studio and the property of the corporation for the benefit of its members, its employees, and the citizens of Salem. We actively support the purchase and use of the latest equipment in the communications field so that staff members can keep all access members on the cutting edge of TV production and direction. As directors, we are constantly inviting guests to come aboard. As individuals, we try to get people to join SATV's family by speaking to others while at work, while at play, or while we're at meetings. So as a result of this, our whole thing is to get the community involved and to really make it a place that everybody wants to come to. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. How does a person become a member of the board? If they wanted to be on the board of directors, how would they go? How do they do that?
Well, it's very simple in Salem in our contract. We have a 9-member board, and of the 9 members, 6 members are appointed by the board members themselves on the board. 3 members come from the membership, and by rule of law, under our corporation rules, 3 of the board members must come from the membership. You people who do the production, direction, and so forth. So as a result, we keep getting a lot of input from the members who are on the board, what's going on and the problems and so forth. So you really have a conduit to us as to what's taking place on a daily basis. And it's a big advantage to us as board members because a lot of us can't be here all the time. So it's important that you think about becoming a member of the board and to get elected at the annual meeting. And you can apply anytime throughout the year for this. And, you know, draw up a little resume, whatever it might be. Sal will put it on record, and then when the meetings come up, or if somebody happens to pass on or moves out of city and you want to move into that position, then we'll pick up your resume, read it, and see who you might want to get appointed. So it's really a wonderful position if you want to take it.
What's a typical meeting like? At the now you guys, we
typical-
meet monthly, right?
We meet monthly,
Can
yes.
I answer that?
We can both answer it, but
Are you going to tell the truth? Or?
Absolutely.
to
I
tell
always
the truth.
A typical monthly meeting, most members are there, which makes me very pleased as chairman of the board. We open the meeting, and if there's any questions or things people want to talk about, and then our august director will present whatever is on the agenda for that particular meeting. And the members then discuss it by categories. It's all lined up. And Sumner Jones usually has his to say about the monies. You know, you have to have a banker watch the monies, and Mr. Sumner is very good at it.
Yeah, we'll be hearing from him a little later on.
Very good. But a typical meeting, I find we all are able to express our feelings about different things, and we usually end up passing the information on to Sal, and Sal passes on what he wants us to vote on. If we want new equipment, it's important to get it out as soon as we can. Wouldn't you say, what else do we have to do there? You want to add a few words?
Sure.
Go right ahead, Sal.
Well, a typical board meeting is very interesting and it's a lot of fun. But the bottom line about a board meeting, I can't do my job unless the board attends the meetings. So it's very helpful that we have good support from the board and a lot of presence at the board meetings. I present what we do day to day, and they basically respond to my reports. And since I've been here, it's been a fabulous arrangement, a fabulous basically direction that this organization has taken. I can't say enough about the board of directors of Salem Access TV. I think they're probably the best in public access television. That's my opinion.
Excellent. The last question I had for Charlie is basically, where do you see SATV in the next couple of years? What are the, from the board's point of view, where do you want us to be as an organization?
First of all, I see us as the leader in the Northeast in access TV, studio, production, and direction, and so forth. I have gone around to other studios, and I don't think anybody compares, especially to our latest developments here at the studio with all of our new equipment. We are the top of the line, no matter where you go. And so that's one of the things. I want to see us stay as the leader in access TV throughout the state. I want to see the increase in production and the viewing of many more of the student activities that take place. There are many schools in Salem, private schools, public schools, whatever they may be, and I don't think we really get enough of the information out of these students and faculties for people to really realize how much is going on in all these schools, whether it be academics or whether it be sports. And the big advantage of that is that the students who actually do the actual field work not only learn how to work together, when they go to make these particular productions, they're learning how to speak. You know, they're going to improve their grammar. They're going to improve their ability to work together with other people. I think it's going to be a tremendous advantage to all of these students in the city of Salem to make use of this material, especially now where everything is digital.
That's right.
We have the digital editing suites now where all of them can go there, and they're so used to using digital stuff now that it's almost easy for all of the younger people than the older people. Unfortunately, it takes us a little longer to learn. I want to see the production more live and on-tape things about the elderly, which today is a big thing, especially in Salem, if you paid attention to anything that's going on. Municipal affairs, develop more programs about historic Salem, and especially our maritime history. We really don't have enough information for people to realize how important the maritime part of Salem is. I think if we get more producers and directors to do stuff like that, it's going to really make people pay attention to the city of Salem. Beyond that, I really believe that the studio itself is one of the main places that people get information today. You know, the newspapers are slowly, I don't know, disappearing because of the net. And yet we're tied in with the computerized system, and I'm sure Sal will go into a lot of what more can happen today.
Sure.
But because of this, because of the technological communication systems, we are going to be right on the threshold of everything. So I want everybody in Salem to join now.
All right.
Don't wait.
Thank you, Charlie. Sure. Right now, we're going to hear from our treasurer as he presents the treasurer's report. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sumner Jones.
Thank you all very much, both our audience here and our audience at home. I'm once again very pleased to present the treasurer's report tonight because it's a very good report. And I'd like to start, if we can have the first slide so we can see the numbers. First slide depicts the income for the year compared to last year. And I remind you that that first line of contributions is a little bit of a misnomer. It's a contractual obligation of our cable provider to support the studio. We are an independent nonprofit organization, which is very important. We're different from cable, local access cable in a lot of other communities. Not all are independent organizations such as we are. But as part of the city's contract with the cable operator, we negotiate the support level that the cable operator gives us. It looks like it dropped a little bit between 2005 and 2006, going from 340 to 330. It really didn't. We had a little bit of a change in the contract in 2005, and there was a timing issue with the income. Each year throughout the contract, which is a 10-year contract, and we're in our third year, I believe, the annual support goes up some, and it will in 2007. So we're in good shape there. We do earn interest on the assets we hold, the cash, and we do get other contributions. So we brought in $345,000 in fiscal year 2006. If we can look at the next slide, the expenses, we can see where that money was spent. Largely on our staff. The staff is critical to the operation of the studio. They provide the training, the oversight, the technical support of everything we do. And we do a lot. Charlie mentioned the role we play in bringing information to the community. That's very important, particularly televising school committee meetings and city council meetings and so forth. The staff plays a crucial role in that, making sure that that happens, training the people to do it, and that's where the bulk of our resources are spent. Obviously, we have to pay rent for the studio. We have to insure the studio and so forth, and that's all depicted there. The last line is depreciation. We have a fairly substantial investment here in facilities and equipment, and we do depreciate that. It declines in value as it's used over the years, and we recognize that. If we look at the profit and loss statement, which is the next slide to come up, we can see that essentially the profit and loss in 2006 was about the same it was in 2005 because of that timing difference of income. 2005 was slightly higher. The good news is that as a nonprofit, each year we've been able to make a small profit, and that's a real testimony to the work that Sal and his staff does in managing the finances here. They really do a great job. We also have to recognize the depreciation, which I mentioned before, which you see here, and we have cash reserves as well. Now, if you look at the cash reserves, you'll see that they declined from $202,000 last year to only $101,000 this year. So what happened? Well, if we look at the next slide, we'll see we made a lot of investments in the studio in terms of the facility itself and the equipment. A lot of this, again, was from the cable operator who, in addition to making an annual contribution, if you will, under the contract for our operating expenses, also provides us with capital. And we also take the profit from the previous year, put that into capital, and reinvest that in facilities and equipment. And you can see that $127,000 was invested during 2006 in the studio and the equipment in various ways. The facility was totally renovated. You've heard that alluded to already, and those of you who come here all the time, I think, can really appreciate that, and those of you, as Charlie said, who don't, come on down and see it. We have a new control room, new edit suites, new equipment, and I think, as Charlie said, it really is state-of-the-art. So that's the report. I should mention that our finances are audited by the Salem auditing firm of Ryan and Korsha, have been every year. So we do keep a tight rein on them. We have that responsibility as a board to not only our membership, but to every cable subscriber in the city to be sure that the money that ultimately they provide through the cable operator is properly expended. And it has been, and I think we are very proud of the studio and the programs that result. So that is my report, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Sumner. Okay, we're going to go back to our Q&A. Our special Q&A continues now. And this time, we're going to pose some questions to our Executive Director, Sal Russo. Sal, the question that, when people walk in, I'm sure they have this, if they've never been here before and they see SATV and they walk in, and you greet them with that big, bright smile and those big eyes, and they say, what is this place? What is SATV? What do you tell them?
It's the best place to be. It's like being home. That's the first thing. Salem Access TV is the City of Salem's public access TV station. It's a place, an outlet for anybody in the community to come here, become a member, and produce their own programs. And how they do that is they take training courses and they learn how to produce them. You can come in with some basic knowledge originally, or you can come in with none, and we'll get you to where you want to go. It's an organization that was established through the contracts that Sumner had already talked about earlier with the City of Salem. It's facilitated by Salem Access TV Corporation, which is a nonprofit, and it's actually overseen or governed by the Board of Directors, which Charlie had mentioned. There are 9 members, 3 of whom will be elected as new members, or maybe the old members will also make it back in. And it's basically managed by the staff, and that's myself, Dave Gauthier, and Patrick Kennedy. Bottom line, anybody who's in Salem can come here and learn. So if you're listening to me now and you're seeing me now, come down tomorrow and sign up, because we're ready.
Excellent, excellent. Now, what are the requirements to become a member?
Very simple. You just have to live in Salem, work in Salem, or be affiliated with an organization in Salem. It's that simple.
That simple.
That's the qualifications.
Now, your title is Executive Director. What does that mean? What are the responsibilities of an Executive Director? What do you do? When you come into work every day, what do you do?
Well, first of all, as the Executive Director, I'm the liaison between the Board of Directors and the organization itself, the staff members and the members. So basically, by working closely with the board, we can do whatever business we need to do to move on into the future. But basically, an executive director is actually a manager. I'm responsible for the budgeting, overseeing whatever's going on in the facility, dealing with members' needs, members' concerns, members' issues. Again, it's just basic day-to-day. And the only way you can do that is by hands-on, personal touch. And I make sure that every person who comes in here knows who I am and what this organization is all about. So I would say that I'm probably the mayor of Salem Access Television.
That's a great. Actually. I think we're having the new title plaques. They're changing it on your door now. Salem Access Television is a nonprofit organization. First of all, what does that mean?
It's
nonprofit.
Nonprofit's a 501c3, which basically, you saw the report, we're basically not supposed to make profit.
Right.
It's not a private corporation. So therefore, we have some different rules that we have to abide with for our finances. But any nonprofit organization in Salem can come here and become a member. I think that the most important thing to know, if an organization has a message, which every organization does, what better place to get your message to the community that you're within? So it's a plea for people to come here and join as an organizational member, and then produce programmings that are informative about what they do. So everybody who sees the channels will know what their program in their organization is all about.
Sure. So you just spoke about what nonprofits can do. What can business do? What can businesses in Salem? How can they utilize Salem
Well,
Access Television?
businesses can do the same, except if they're a for-profit corporation, their programming has to be kind of customized just for information only. They can't do any advertising. They can't basically say how good they are or what type of products they use. You know, it's basically informative. And there's a lot of easy ways for businesses to express informationally what they do so that other people in the community will know what each business does.
Going back to the mayor of Salem Access Television, mayors have, you know, people who work under them. Let's talk about your staff, your program director and your training and production coordinator, David Gauthier and Patrick Kennedy. How do you oversee them, and how is that in relationship to their own work and how they execute their duties?
Basically, David Gauthier, the program director, and Patrick Kennedy, the training production coordinator, they have a 3-page job description. They know what they need to do day to day. I don't have to be over them to tell them what to do. So they understand that, and they do it very, very well. Second of all, they're very involved in the community, and they understand the mission of this organization, which is community programming. So again, anybody who walks in the door gets the same treatment. It's smiling faces, open eyes, eager to train. They're a great staff. This organization could not function the way it does without the staff. Their personalities fit the job to a T, as well as their professionalism and their technical expertise. Again, David Gauthier is directing this program. Patrick Kennedy is doing the sound. That's what it's all about. They not only have the technical side, but they have the personality to also cover the job.
Excellent.
And that's what it's all about.
That is. And they're in a control room that has been updated and is pretty much state-of-the-art for this type of deal. Let's talk about that technology. What role does technology play in a public access community TV station? Is it an important thing?
Technology is very important because everything is so easily done nowadays. As Charlie had mentioned before, computers are everywhere. Editing on computers is very common. High-quality camcorders are very common. And just a perfect example is we have high-definition camcorders, which tonight we are using as 2 shots. And actually, the shot that's on the screen right now is from one of them. And if Dave, if you could switch to the other, that's another shot.
Yeah.
So
HD.
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 And basically, they're incorporated in the studio shoot we're doing right now with our studio equipment that never leaves the building, never leaves this room. That technology is at a very low price point now. So it's very important to stay on the leading edge. One thing I've always done in my career has been leading edge. It's always been about trying to get the best for the best dollar value. And that's what I've brought to this organization. I've tried to make it the best it could possibly be.
Okay, we're going to open up the questions now, the Q&A, to our membership here in the audience. I've got a bunch of questions here that have been popular questions, frequently asked questions over the years. So if we don't have anybody that has any questions to ask the board.
Could I ask a question?
Sure, we'll give you an opportunity to ask a question, Charlie. But we're going to open it up. If there's a question that you want to know about Salem Access Television, if there's something that you've never asked before that you'd like to ask now, please, by all means, our roving Kevin Walker will come right to you and give you the mic, and we can start it up. So I'm going to open up the floor to any questions that you want to ask Sal Russo, our executive director, or Charlie Walsh, our chairman of the board. Anybody? Right over here in the front.
Yes, your name?
Yeah, excuse me. My name is Vincent Marappa. I've been a member here for 2 years, and I've just started to write, produce, direct a new show which will air April 2nd. My chief photographer, his name is Chester Cohn. Him and I will be coming in. My background is 30 years with Channel 7 News as a cinema photographer editor. But I have not worked with the new technology they have here, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, one question, you know, because I'm still new, is I'm wondering, I think I know what it is, am I protected by the First Amendment on my show?
That's a great question. Sal, Charlie?
Yes, you are. Basically, public access television is a venue for anybody to produce a program about whatever is their interest. The only thing, we do not review any content. There's a cablecast request form that every producer fills out that basically has a general information of your name, address, contact information, a brief description about what the program is about, and if there's any questionable content in there, because we want to know if we have to air it at 5 o'clock or if we have to air it at 10, 11, or 12. And based on that information that we get, that you sign and date, we will give your program a time slot, it will get aired. If there are any questions or issues about the content, it comes into the community standards. Community standards is basically the governing body of basically review of content. And we have a viewer's form that somebody, if they called and complained, we would fill that out and they would explain what the complaint might be. They would also designate whether they want their personal information to be transferred to the producer or if they want it to be kept anonymous. It's up to the producer to respond to the request. If the producer does not, then we have to basically air at a later time. So that's probably more complicated answer than to your question, but that's kind of the process. It's community standards that determines, I guess you could say, the rating of a program.
Excellent question. Thank you, Vincent. Chester, thanks for coming.
Sal, I wanted
Kevin?
to ask you one quick question. Do you have your cell phone on you?
Yes.
Is it on?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, if anybody here wants to call Sal on using their cell phone, to please, you know, if you want to keep it
I
like,
can turn it
private.
on if you want.
Yeah, turn it on. And anybody here, see if, Sal, if you want to give your cell phone number out, and if you have questions.
My question,
978-740-9432. Salem Access
So
Television.
if you feel more comfortable in that.
Actually, Charlie has a question.
yes, who's the man that's in the booth there that you didn't mention?
I believe that the person that is in there is, I think, David Moisen.
And
And David Moisen is our technology guy. He's, what would you call him, Sal?
You hit it on the head.
I call him the technology man.
He is our IT person. Dave Moisen is a volunteer. He gets involved in many, many productions. He does graphic design. He has done the graphic design for this show, as well as Salem Now, and many other shows that we've produced over the years. But his primary job here is making sure that our computer network is up and running. It has been upgraded and it works really well, and he does an unbelievable job. The hours that David spends, as they say, are priceless.
Excellent. Yeah, David is.
Can't thank him enough.
How about a round of
yeah,
applause
round of
for
applause
David?
for David Moisen. David, yeah, Moisen, yeah. Any more questions from the audience?
Very quiet
Yes,
gentleman
name?
back there.
John Pelletier.
Hi, Tom. What's your question?
John.
John.
Being an elected official, I'm sorry, first of all, I just want to start and thank the chairman of the board, Sal Russo, and all the people that work here. I mean, our council meetings are just so well filmed. that I don't watch them because I don't like looking at myself. But my question to Sal is, years ago, before you were on board, I came down here, went through the program, and I joined, and I paid for a few years, and I got my mailing, and I paid, and I don't remember getting my renewal. So tonight I come in, and I'm no longer a member. But if you send me a form, I'll become a member again. My second question is, why don't we show, like, Salem Now and these shows later on at night? You know, repeats. Is that possible? Because I know at night there's nothing on Channel 16. And can we have something like that where, you know, us night owls that come in late, you know, either see the council meetings or see Leo's show or any show that's on?
Well, that's a great lead-in. And first of all, probably your membership might have expired before I got here, because I'm pretty faithful about getting the renewals out. But if I misplaced your membership, I apologize.
You can charge me back a couple
Get
years.
the
I don't care.
25 bucks.
But to get back to your question about airing programs later at night, it can be done, but with the current system that we have in Cablecast, it's not as easy to do because everything has to be hand-fed. So if all the machines are full and we close at 9 o'clock, there's nobody here to change a tape. But I'm glad you mentioned that because we will be upgrading Cablecast next, probably in the summertime, which we will be server-based, which means we'll be able to put the programming on computer and then program it directly off the computer back on to the channels. So that hand feeding is not going to be an issue. So we will address that. Thank you.
Excellent, great question. Thank you, John. Any more questions? Well, we got a question right over here, Kevin.
Wait, first I got to take this off. It's like, ow! It never gets easy. Sorry, your name?
My name's Colleen Tebow, and I am a member here at Salem Access, and I'm also a Salem State College student, and I was wondering what involvement that SATV has currently at Salem State.
Excellent question.
Excellent question.
That's a very good question. We have a very good collaboration with Salem State College. Actually, Dave Gauthier and myself, we are visiting professors for Salem State College. We teach basic television productions, advanced television productions, field productions, and nonlinear editing for them. So we have many students that come through here and basically get a great chance to use the facility. But on the flip side of that is we also retain those students as members because when they stop their classes, they then join to produce programming. We have done collaborations with Salem State to produce programs for them when they've had guest speakers, their presentations. We've done things for some of their big dinner galas. We've produced programs for them. So we're involved with them as often as possible. I'd like to see more involvement.
Excellent, good question. Any more questions from the floor? Kevin, is there anyone out there that has anything?
Ron, we don't want to have to single people out.
All right.
Well, I just have a question.
Okay.
I really didn't have time to talk to all my board members.
Sure.
If they had anything that they wanted to add to what I had already said. Any of the board members want to add to that? Jack?
All right. I think you summed it up great.
Good job.
All right.
Good job, Charlie. Okay, it is time now for the election process. Let me just outline this for you. This is an opportunity for 3 members in good standing to serve on the board of directors for a period of 1 year. We have 3 candidates tonight, 2 of which are up for re-election. Before I introduce them, I'd like to open the floor for nominations. Now, let me explain to you what that is. Any member can nominate another member for a membership seat on the board of directors. That nomination has to be seconded in order for your name to be added to the candidates' slate. and any other member can, that means that any other member can nominate the same individual. So let me open up the floor. Are there any nominations from the floor? Vincent.
Do I need somebody to nominate me? Because I think I'd like to be on the board. I think I can give a lot of input because of my experience. And, you know, I'm going to be involved in a show that's going to be, I want to revitalize the city of Salem.
Okay, great. No, no one needs to know. You can nominate yourself, and I'll second that nomination. Okay? Excellent. Anybody else? Okay, can we add Vincent's name to the slate? And there we go. Let me just explain to our membership here and our audience at home. A membership, the elections tonight is for a member seat, and that means that the members that are elected tonight represent the views and interests of the membership. We have a great board of directors, but 3 of those seats have the interests of you guys in mind whenever we talk about policy and things like that. So that's what's going to be happening here. Each member is now going to have an opportunity to address the board, address the membership here, for up to 2 minutes. That's it. And since I'm one of the members who is up for election, I am going to take this real short time just to say a few words. I'll go first. Yeah, I know. Start the clock now. I'll make it real simple. You know, I've been a member for over 10 years here at SATV. I've been on the board of directors for a few years now. It's been a great experience. It's been a great opportunity, and I've always wondered, what do I say at this point in time in the meeting? What do I talk about? And because once you've been here for so long, you know, it's kind of hard not to repeat yourself with these sorts of things. But I remember a conversation I had with Sal Russo a couple of days ago in the green room, in the kitchen, and he was talking about his visiting professor teaching his class that he teaches, his advanced class. And there's a word that Sal said to me when he was talking, and the word that he used, and it was personal. And it struck a chord with me because, you know, when you come down here and you produce your own show, you're bringing ideas, you're turning them into a visual medium, your ideas. But more than that, you're turning your personal vision, your personal ideas. It's something, we don't have access to the newspapers. We don't have access to major networks. We have access here to this studio to bring our personal message to the community. And I'd like to feel that I bring the membership's personal message to the board. And I'd like to continue doing that, so if you vote for me, I will continue to do that. All right, that's enough for me. Now, let me bring up the other candidates. The first will be J. Michael Sullivan, who is our current secretary. Up at the podium. Let's hear it. J. Michael Sullivan.
Thank you very much, Paul. I'm one of an example of something that Charlie was mentioning a little bit before, an interest in being a board member. I ran last year and didn't get elected, but fate having been what it was during the middle of the year, I was able to, I was asked to come and sit on the board, and I've been doing the minutes and the secretarial duties for the last 6 months or so. And
Very good, by the way.
thank you very much. The other thing I'd like to mention is that although I'm not a producer, there are a lot of opportunities down here to be able to be of service, not only SATV, but to the community. This position allows me to do both of those things. SATV, my wife is a producer. I don't want to produce. I don't want to tread on that hollow ground that I best stay away from. But it works because we're both part of the same institution. And probably more important, we're part of an institution that is the voice of Salem. So that is it's what's important for me, and an important ability to be able to serve on the board. I'd like to do it again, and I hope you'll elect me. Thanks very much.
Next on the slate, and just I should have interjected this earlier. Your ballots, these are your ballots, everybody here. This is the ballot, and Vincent, who is running, you can write his name in here if you choose, if you're going to vote for him. There are 3 people on there, and then there are blank spots to write there. So just want to make sure. These are the ballots, pencil. We're handing them out now.
Only vote for 3.
Yeah, and you can only vote for 3 individuals on the ballot. Let's make that clear. Okay. Next up is Tom Green. Tom?
I'm Tom Green, retired teacher. I've been a member since November of 2004. And I produce documentaries. I've produced, in that time, 8 documentaries ranging from 20 minutes to 50 minutes. I like documentaries for, among other reasons, that there is no deadline. There's a low budget. The only support I've gotten so far has been from family a bit, two members in particular. I've enjoyed being a member and working in the editing bays here and working with the staff and going to Producers Cafe when it was given and meeting other producers. And I feel that this is a first-rate facility. I've visited a few others just out of curiosity, and this is number one as far as I'm concerned. The upgrading of equipment. I've worked in the new editing suites, which have camera and a computer connected. So I conduct an interview, thank them, wave goodbye, and start right in and editing. There's no gap in between, and it's a very efficient system. And it's worked well for me. I'm still learning how to use it, but matter of fact, I had one friend I came in, and I didn't tell him, but he was my guinea pig. He found out later on, but I'm considering maybe using him as a voiceover and narration for another one. And Charlie, you mentioned locals. I have 3 projects in the works now, which is probably more than I should have, but I have 3 anyway, and one of them has to do with the waterfront and Tall Ship, which I'm looking forward to getting it done. Anyway, thank you very much. I enjoy this decor this year. Very sophisticated. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I'd like to bring up Vincent, if you'd like to say a few words.
You'll have to forgive me, I just got the cane today.
Okay.
Okay, I need an A on the end of Morocco. This is my first. This is the first time I've really gotten involved with anything. As I said, I worked for Channel 7 for 30 years. I was born and brought up here in Salem, and I graduated Salem High with a D average. My learning comes from traveling as a news photographer. I went to China in 1981. I covered the OJ trial, parts of it, and many other stories. You know, I did a lot of arts and entertainment stuff. I rather shoot an arts and entertainment piece rather than a fire or an accident. Like I say, I joined here a year ago, but because of my illness, you know, I have great ideas and then I get depressed. But this year, I'm on my way. I think I'm going to have a very interesting show, and I think the viewers are going to be very, very interested in watching what I have to say. Because the name of the show is Family. What does it mean in America? There is controversy right now about what a family should consist of. Well, I'm not going to tell you, but I looked it up in the dictionary. I can back up everything I say on my show because when I was sick, I couldn't watch any violence. I watched the History Channel and I watched the Court Channel. And through that, I feel as though now I can put on a show and I can give credit to those that deserve credit, and I will name names, and I will point out who are the monopolies in this city and who you should not shop at, and I'm going to name names, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Okay, guys, while you guys are voting here, remember, up to 3 individuals on a ballot, we're going to take a look at a special roll-in produced by our training and production coordinator, Patrick Kennedy. Sal, what's the theme of this roll-in?
It's a members roundtable, and basically the theme is a few members who explaining their experiences as they started at SATV.
Okay, David, roll it.
Hi, my name is Jesus Rodriguez, and it's funny the way I came to Salem Access Television. I remember it was Sunday afternoon. Person, his name was Ramy Morales, came to me. He called my attention. He said, "This show is great. What you guys are doing at Summit Church is great. You guys should bring it to TV." He liked us so much, and to me it was like, wow, how can we do that? How can we bring it to TV? I didn't know where the channel was. I live here in Salem, but I didn't know how, where it was, or I didn't know how hard it was going to be to bring our sections to the television, to the general public. What I did is I looked for information how to came to Salem Access TV. It was very close to my house. I didn't even know how close it was until I actually came. And it's great. Since I came in, it was very, very, very simple. Process was very easy. We're starting by doing the membership. It was small, yearly fee. After that, they gave me an introduction to the television channel, and we start taking classes. First class that they gave me was a camera class. I never used a camera before. I never recall anything before. They showed me everything, how to operate the camera. After, once I finished the classes, they let me take it out so I could bring it to the church and record the sections there. So after the recording is done, I was like, okay, I have it recorded now, what's next? There comes the phone part. Whatever was great to me was the editing. So they showed me how to do some editing. And it was great. When I was progressing on the editing, it was, it was better and better. And it's great. I guess you get to fall in love with it once you start working. And for everybody, the public in general, it's very, very simple. How to come, how to do it. If you have something in your mind that you want to do, it's very simple. Just come to Salem Access Television.
Hello, I'm David Moisen. I am a member of Salem Access Television. I've been a member since 1994. I got in not so much for television production, though I eventually did a lot of that. I eventually did much of that. Really I've always been interested in the technical side of television. What I think Salem Access Television has done, I've watched us grow. I've watched me grow. When I started here, I didn't know anything about TV production. It's the same as everybody else. And I've been privileged to work with a lot of members who've also started from nothing, and they've gone up to do very nearly professional things, because we've all understood about television communications and how to do it, and that's to our great credit that most of everyone here has been even the persons across the table whom I've only just met and don't know. I bet both of you will learn this, our learning, and we'll learn the same production, the same production techniques I've learned, and all be able to do it. You'll all be able to do it to your satisfaction, no matter how many time experience you've had before.
Hello, my name is Olufunke. I got to know about Salem Access Television, on television actually. I was flipping through the TV channels and I had seen Channel 3. And I became curious. It happened that I saw a lot of captions about upcoming events around Salem. I used to live in Boston, somewhere in Boston. So when I moved to Salem, I was curious, what was going on here. And I found a lot of information on TV through SA TV. And something had caught my fancy at one time, which says, if you wanted to be a member, you could go to a website. So I went on my computer and I got quite some detailed information about how to become a member. And when I made up my mind, I called on the phone and I spoke with Patrick, I believe, and he did tell me the process of becoming a member. So I came sometime in 2006, and I paid a membership fee. I attended the camera class, I believe was the first one, and it was a fun experience. And I think the next step after that was learning to edit, which is another fun step. I found it quite challenging because in the beginning, editing with a computer was a bit of a challenge to me. And the staff here have been wonderful. I call them 10 times and they're always on hand to help. And Pat has been my helper too. I remember that I was having a chat with her on one of the occasions that we were here. And she let me tap into her experience too, because she's older in the business than myself. So, and I really appreciated that. Thank you very much, Pat. Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting because I think we've all come here in a different way, and it wasn't me who came to SATV, but it was SATV that came to me. My name's Kathy Marchetti, and I'm a teacher here in Salem. I teach 5th grade at Witchcraft Heights Elementary School. And all of the schools in the city were given the opportunity last year to receive a camera for the school, for the school's use. It's not our camera, it belongs to SATV, and free training in how to use the camera and then how to edit. So I signed up, and I didn't even have to leave my building because Dave Gauthier came to me. He showed me how to use a beautiful television camera. It's not quite as complex as the ones I'm looking at, but it's certainly a high quality camera that we would never have the use of in our schools if it weren't for this community outreach idea that I believe it was Dave's idea. And then, not only that, but after we had the chance to do some filming of different events at the school, he came and showed us how to edit right there, right in my classroom at my own computer. He showed me how to use iMovie and how to edit, which I thought was great fun. And like most of you thought was really hard at first, but it is such the fun part of it all, is putting together a nice production. So the kinds of things that we're able to do are to share with the community, our concerts, any kind of special events we have going on at school.
Well, I moved to Salem in July 1999, and I had been living in Boston where I was in a writers group for several years, and we had a little bit of a hiatus where the teacher wasn't going to be meeting with us anymore. So I was looking for something to do, and as like Olafunke was switching around in the channels on the television, and was watching some of the shows on Channel 3, and then seeing in the newspaper there was an orientation class coming up at SATV, so I thought, well, I have this break from the writing class, orientation's coming up, I'll come down and see what what I can learn, and it would be something fun and different from what I was doing. So I came and I took the orientation class and the camera class that you have to take, and then the production class. Went through that, and from there I worked on several different shows and worked a lot with David, who's taught me a lot. And that is one of the nice things about coming down here, and you meet people in and out of the places, and if you have any problems, anyone can help you out or answer questions or give you ideas. And when I first started, it was VHS tape, and it was edit suites, and it was brutal, and I could not get it. And it was, you're calling people I was calling David for help running down the hall, just couldn't get it. It was just driving me crazy. And you could spend like hours and not get, if you were lucky, you can get 5 minutes of good tape. And so fortunately, it went to better camcorders, smaller camcorders, the DV tapes, editing on the computers, and I love editing. It's the best. It's so easy. You like the iMovie. And if you don't like what you've done, you can redo it over and over and over. You don't like the transitions, you can try different transitions. You can try the different fonts and everything, and you haven't ruined any of the tape. And it was not that way with a VHS. If you messed something up, that was it. You were done for. So I've been here I joined in year 2000, and I've just worked on just tons of different shows. I've met so many different people, and I found Salem to be just like the best place to just find different artists, go to the bookstores, personalities. You just go out in the street, you get street musicians. You can, October, haunted happenings, things going on. Worked on the parades. It's just so much fun, and it's just boundless. It's just, you're only limited by your imagination, basically. So it's just been really a lot of fun.
Okay, now it's time to recognize a few members for outstanding contributions in volunteering and producing. Once again, I'm going to introduce Sal Russo and the producer of the roll-in we just saw, fantastic roll-in. Patrick Kennedy.
Before we do the first award, I want to quickly thank a few people. David Ings Flores for the flowers that are on the set and throughout the facility, and to a couple of active members for assistance with the set. Leo Jordan for help us building the frames, and Ron Dorito for printing the pictures you see, and for the great help of mounting them for us. So just a little bit of applause for them, please.
Thank you.
Well, now the awards. The first award is for Volunteer of the Year. This recipient is intelligent, kind, considerate, generous, happy, and most of all, friendly. He possesses the best quality of a great volunteer, the inability to say no. He is not only an active member at SATV, but also the current SATV Board of Directors chairperson. Truly a person I admire. Please give a round of applause for Charlie Walsh, one of the 2006 SATV Volunteers of the Year.
You want me to say a few words? Yeah, just a few. I'm overwhelmed by this award. My wife is as proud of it as I am. She's not the type to come into the crowd. She's very quiet. But I told her I was overwhelmed when I saw this because, to me, this is a fun thing. I mean, I really enjoy coming down here and interacting with you people and having people outside say to me, Charlie, we saw you on that TV show, I said, well, come on down and be part of it. And so I really have to thank you, Sal, very much.
Thank you. Okay. Our next recipient has lent their talents to programs like School Showcase, as well as SATV's election coverage and SATV's coverage of the Haunted Happenings Parade. She brings a sense of professionalism to every production she is involved with, and we're very fortunate to have her involved with our organization. Please give a warm reception to our second Volunteer of the Year, Claudia Chuba.
Thank you. When they called me, the first thing I asked was, I want the name of the other volunteers to recognize them. And I just want to read a few of the people who have been before me. And this is only since 2001 because the list was extensive. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I want people to know all these people are here all the time. I have done a few things, but not all the time like they are here. So this is in no particular order. Claire White Sullivan, Susan Linder Bean, Joanne Moore, Brad Malone, Leo Joden, David Moisen, that we saw a little earlier, Patricia Reed, Jan Corbett, Tom Muxey, Colleen Tebow, Diana Levesque. And again, there are some others that I haven't mentioned, but I'm here practically drooling, hearing about the new editing techniques. When I did the Salem School Showcase, it was like Pat was saying, it was brutal. It was for 5 minutes of tape, it was hours and hours of work. So I think I'm going to get myself back here and learn some of those iMovie techniques. Thank you very much.
All right, and now, of course, I had to say something tonight. We're going to give the Producer of the Year. But first of all, I just want to tell everyone how thankful and how proud I am of everyone who's produced this year. We have had so many great shows, and the level of production has skyrocketed. So I just want to personally give everyone a round of applause, every producer. But there's one person who deserves the Producer of the Year. This member has done so many shows, so many productions, has volunteered their time, and almost every week this member brings in a different type of show. This member does everything from authors to artists, and now is even doing something with me about a short program. And well, it's pretty fitting because she's a short little Pat. Patricia Reed, everyone.
First, I want to say I came this close to wearing the same outfit of this person right here. Phew. Besides thanking the usual people that I worked on the shows with, I want to thank the people that I did the Bewitched with. It started in June contacting Mark Simpson, and it just snowballed from there. It was Peter Alachi, the opening night. It was just astounding to meet all those people, and I thank you all very much.
Okay, we've gone over just a little bit in our show, but the election results should be in, and I think that our chairman of the board, Charlie Walsh, do you have those results?
No.
Ah, Leo Joden has results. Leo Joden, if you can give them to Charlie.
Okay. I'll read all the results. Tom, 17 votes. Jay Sullivan, 22 votes. Vincent, 9 votes. And Paul, 23 votes. So it looks as though it's Paul, Jay Sullivan, and Tom Green.
We'll see you at the next board meeting.
Be at the next meeting, right.
See you at the next meeting.
Okay, and wow, that's it. I'd like to thank everybody here, the members and our guests, for supporting Salem Access Television and yourself by coming out here tonight and being with us tonight. Those of you who are watching at home, thanks for tuning in. And that brings us to the end of another annual meeting, our 13th. But I can't close out this meeting. That's a job that falls on our chairman of the board, Charlie.
What if I don't close the meeting?
Then we'll break out the sleeping bags.
The meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
SATV is the nominal fee that it costs, and the amount of things that you can learn for the individual is like $25 a year, and you can learn how to use all the cameras. You can sign all the equipment out. You can come in and work in the studio, use all the studio equipment.
You know, over the few months that I started, I have been able to get, you know, better and better every day. And who knows, I may become a pro tomorrow. And that's something I want people out there to know, that you could start, you know, start it as a challenge, as a hobby. And you never know what talent you have in you until you have started. When you put your hand on the plow, then you know how good you are, and you get better and better every day.
The amount of education you can get is just beyond belief for the fees that it costs to come down here. It's just like, it's insane practically.
They could show anybody whatever is the project or any information for the public in general, Spanish community or whoever it is. Whatever they have in mind, they could just show it, and it's great. So who knows? I mean, they could be the next star, you know?
And people can actually come in and say, I have an idea for a show, and if you've taken the classes and you're a member, you can produce a show that would then be on this Access Television.
And if you need a crew, you can come down, you can ask, say, I need a crew, you can put a sign up, what you need camera people, you need someone to direct, you want to be the host, you want to be out here, so you wouldn't need somebody to direct in there, or someone for graphic with David's excellent at, or other people if they've been learning that kind of stuff, and it just get people on cameras, and the sound, audio, everything.